Okay. I think I'm live, maybe? Okay, we should be online right now and everything going good. Okay, so starting off our week of streams, we are going to go back to play Battle Brothers, which has had at least one update since the last time I played it here. Let's pick out a good flag. Oh, I like that flag. Um, what should we call them? Let's go with... Yeah, let's just go with the default Battle Brothers. I'm not thinking of any better name right now. Late game crisis will just be a random. It'll either be a war, greenskin invasion, or undead scourge. There will be permanent destruction, so towns, cities, and castles can be permanently destroyed during a late game crisis. And apparently, if the world goes down in flames, is one of the ways that I can lose if I ever make it to the late game crisis. We're gonna have everything at beginner or veteran. We'll have high starting funds though, and Iron Man mode. So we have one person watching, which is awesome. Thank you, one person. Okay, the last battle. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hogarth the Weasel and his band of raiders. But it was them who found you first. An ambush. Some joke about horses cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrow shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of the men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. A harried glance sees the men charging without you to make a valiant last stand, met in force as steel clashes with steel. You met eyes with the captain, a last nod before his throat is cut. You are left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. So this is the default start of the game, and there's Hogarth running away. And we'll shoot this guy. And we pierced his side. And now we're going to try and lob his head off. Which we do! Awesome. Alex is in the stream making jokes as always. It's terrible. It's terrible because the jokes aren't the best. Now, those are fighting words. Saying slowly rise again, doing better than the South at this point. Pretty much. Ooh, we pierced the arm muscles of this dude. And apparently at some point gave him a cut on the nose. Oh, our guys are named Raymond, Giselher, and Torvald the Impaler. And Torvald is our archer. Wonderful names. You're alive. You won. The adrenaline fades, and in its wake you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow's shaft, your chest heaves, pain for breath, everything blurs. The company has been devastated, cut down to but a few men, and that bastard Hogarth did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel he is. What now, Captain? A voice says from behind. It's Giselher, who sits down beside you. Bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. You turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. Bernhard's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader, but all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Torvald the Impaler joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. Then Raymond. Save the ceremony and anointments for another day. Let's give the men a good burial and return to Sundheim to collect our pay. The weasel's men are slain, after all. Besides, Captain, we ought to see to that wound before we lose you too. Wouldn't want to leave Torvald the Impaler in charge, right? Yes, Impaler is probably a good name for an archer, but a better name for a pikeman. There's soon time. We're returning there to get paid. If he's getting paid is good. Let's see what traits our guys have. Let's move them around. Raymond has an iron jaw. Giselher is fearless. And Torvald just doesn't have anything. So, as I've mentioned, this is day one of a week of streaming where I will be streaming every day. I don't know what I'm going to be playing or who is going to possibly join me. I have a few people that I'm trying to get. So far, nothing is set in stone. I also don't have a regular time to stream during the day. So just keep an eye out on my channel, and I'll start streaming at some point every day for the next 7 days. The return to Sundheim. What a sorry display it must have been for the onlookers as you arrive in Sundheim. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The men who hired the company days ago, Hallstein of Sundheim, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house and offers bread and wine, while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze as an elderly man with shaky hands tends your wounds. A pain pierces your side, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth till you think you hear one break. Hallstein of Sundheim sits beside you and asks you if you took care of Hogarth. You shake your head. We killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he wants to push it in your wound. You nod and he does so. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire. Flesh from flame, a golem of pain. Hallstein of Sundheim hands you a goblet of wine. You did well, sellsword. The brigands have been removed, though it is a shame that Hogarth still lives. Hallstein of Sundheim gasps. Well, naturally, 400 crowns is agreed upon. He gestures towards the servant who rushes to your side with the pay in hand. I wonder, may I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that is Hogarth once and for all. And I would pay you again, of course. Another 400 crowns, shall we say? Giselher scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but Raymond stands to speak. Yes, the company is in ruin, but we will rebuild it. Without the Battle Brothers, Giselher would drink the crowns away and end up begging in the streets. And Torvald the Impaler, by the gods, we all know he'd go chasing the womenfolk until one stove his rotted head in. We need the Battle Brothers. It's all you have. What say you, Captain? Giselher burps and raises his cup to you. Torvald the Impaler playfully thumbs his nose and nods. Kill that bastard Hogarth or not, it's up to you, Captain. Golem of Pain is my new opera metal band. Yeah, I can see that, Alex. It'd also make a very fun tabletop gaming villain. Yes, we have unfinished business with Hogarth. Hallstein of Sundheim claps his hands in satisfaction. Excellent! My little birds will need some time to find where Hogarth is hiding his hide now. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies, so you'll be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I will see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave Hallstein of Sundheim's house and stand on the outskirts of Sundheim, Raymond seeks a word with you. We need more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but bravado won't do shite. We need more warm bodies in the ranks. Figure we find 3 good men, buy them some decent weapons, and dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this podunk town's got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life. Or we could travel to Wolstadt in the west. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as these country bumpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping to rest there. That is what we shall do. Anything good in the marketplace? Not really. We have 2 tailors and a fisherman. We're definitely going to go check out Wolstadt. A large city thriving in the southern steppe by trading and producing valuable goods and fine arts. Apparently we've never been there before. And they make wine and dyes along the way. As Wolstadt's skyline appears on the horizon, Torvald the Impaler seeks a word with you. Never been to Wolstadt before, but have been around ones that look a lot like it. Cities like this are great for selling goods, as all those prissy, pompous pricks love to have their goods delivered. With so many merchants, you can find almost everything you need, too. Keep an eye out for bargains, and don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants. Giselher seems fit to add his own opinion of what you should do. If there's a good tavern, I say that's where we go first. Nothing helps a man down on his luck more than a good pint. Gods know we've earned it. Torvald the Impaler shakes his head. You say that every time we stop into town. You say that even when you're already drunk. I'll keep that in mind. There is... Oh, there is a tavern. Let's see. What are the rumors? I've heard the Council of Sundheim is looking to hire mercenaries. Don't know what for. Okay. Let's see. We have Haken the Gambler, Cory the Cutpurse, who is a thief, Torleaf the Beggar, Oscar the Refugee, Haken the Juggler, Randolph the Militiaman, Leif the Disowned Noble, Sir Wolfhart the Adventurous Noble that we cannot afford, Baldwin the Historian, Karsten the Grave Robber, Hilmar the Retired Soldier, and Bertwin the Caravan Hand. Let's see what Leif. As a price to be paid for choosing his allies poorly in a war of succession, Leif was believed to have been involved in one too many conspiracies and was removed from the lands. Down on his luck and essentially broke, he ventures in the field of sellswords. Let's buy him. War is a hungry beast. Militia conscripts like Randolph are what feed it. Even though he fought just as hard as the professionals, he found himself unable to garner any sort of respect for his work. When his militia was disbanded, he returned home to find his town had been burned to the ground. 1 foot already in the door, it only made sense to join one of the numerous mercenary bands roaming the land. I like Randolph. Let's buy Randolph. Bertwin. Though the work is dangerous, being a caravan hand allowed Bertwin to see the world. After seeing the foul work of beasts on a fellow caravan, it didn't take long for Bertwin to figure out his wages didn't quite meet the level of threats around him. Years of road travel have molded Bertwin into quite the durable figure. Any group of mercenaries could use more men like him. Caravan hands are used to long and exhausting travels. Historians are studious individuals with vast amounts of knowledge, none of it any use on the battlefield. Always a voracious reader, Baldwin's early life consisted of long nights in Sandberg's library. When his professor said his research was rubbish, the historian went out into the world to prove him wrong. Baldwin's time with the outfit is to develop a theory, but can he survive the experiments? And then there's Karsten the Grave Robber, or not faint of heart. What compels a man to disturb those who have passed away? After many lonely nights in hermitry, Karsten is said to have taken up dancing with the dead. The deviancies of such a man may know no bounds, but his for now warm body could be of use. So I will leave it up to the two people watching to have suggestions on who our third person should be. Should it be Baldwin the Historian, Karsten the Grave Robber, or Bertwin the Caravan Hand? Now keep in mind, I'm going to have to buy at least a weapon for each of them. And yeah. So any suggestions? Dancing with the dead sounds like a euphemism for necrophilia. I can see that. Caravan Hand. Yeah, he's actually where I'm leaning as well. So I'm going to hire the Caravan Hand. Now look at my group. I could use a shield for him. Shield for him. Well, let's see. Leif is loyal. Randolph has sure footing. And Bertwin is a survivor and has an iron jaw. Bertwin was a good choice. Let's see what the armorer has. I think I need 3 shields. And get a hatchet. And we'll put our spearmen on the outsides. He has light wounds. I don't know why he has light wounds. We need... We need hats. Okay. Everyone in my front line now has at least some head armor. And I have 15 gold. Woo! Going back to sun time. And just hoping that we don't go broke. We might have to attack Hogard in the night. I don't like fighting at night in this game. Unfinished business. Hulstein of Sudheim is pacing back and forth when you find him. The healer who'd damn near killed you with a fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Hulstein of Sudheim claps his hands. Finally, you're here. I have good news. We got hold of one of Hogarth's former men. My good friend here has had a nice little talk with the man, and now I know where Hogarth's licking his wounds. The healer clears his throat, splaying his fingers out like a maiden looking to paint them. He speaks as though he's identifying a disease he's about to excise. The brigand known as Hogarth is hiding in a small hut in the steppe northwest of here. Based upon my most civil discussion with one of his men, Hogarth knows the Battle Brothers are on his heels and will have gathered more men since the last time you met him. Nodding, Holstein of Sudheim waves you off. Good luck, Sellsword. We'll return with his head. Okay. So he's right here. I should be able to make it very quickly to Wolstadt to sell whatever loot I end up getting. So I need 72 crowns per day for my group. And if I remember right, it's pretty early in the morning when they have to be paid. Prepare for combat. Your scout reports that he's seen the following: a few brigand thugs and a brigand poacher. Engage. I'm gonna have him wait his turn. Okay, we have 6 to their 5. You're gonna move move up here. And you're just going to shoot the ground, apparently. He's going to wait his turn, let people come in close. Oh, what did I do? Pierced his cheek. Good. I killed him. And him. Not that guy, though. You're going to move down here. You're going to move here, and then you're going to hopefully end this guy. So, I think we're doing pretty good. You know what? Split your shield. He's running. Make him stop running. Run them down, because this should be Hogarth. I don't know, it's just Brigand Poacher. I must have killed Hogarth already. So we've got Leif, who is getting closer, but the brigand successfully escaped. Giselher has light wounds. Oh, good, 115 golds. Ooh, patched mail shirt. That's actually a really good haul. Awesome. After the battle, Hogarth lies dead in a pool of his own blood, skewered into a grotesque and panicked pose. He didn't weasel his way out of this one. You put a boot on his corpse and look to your men. For the company, for all the men who have fallen. Torvald the Impaler spits on the dead man's face. Let's take this bastard's head and get back to Soon-time. Time to get paid. I'm actually going to want to give the patched mail shirt to Raymond. And Giselher will get the Gambizan. And Torvald will be given the padded surcoat. And then down to Wallstatt. Oh, we have a third person watching now. Hello and welcome to person number 3. Along the way, Torvald the Impaler joins your side. Got a moment, Captain? You nod for him to speak his mind. That battle has left some gear worse for wear, and some men got a good nicking, too. We can patch up both men and equipment while marching, but it's a lot faster to set down and do it. Of course, if we make camp, we should be wary of ambushes. A campfire in these parts can be seen from every which way. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so the armor. Let's go to the marketplace and just sell the stuff there, like the signet ring. What can we waste our money on here? Yeah, let's go with a thing of padded leather. So the good thing is we're getting quite a bit of armor pretty quickly, which is a very, very good thing. Okay, Suntime. The return to Suntime. The company returns to Suntime as victors, their heads held much higher this time. The Battle Brothers are not the size they once were, but they're still a force to be reckoned with, as Hogart learned in his final moments. You carry his head in a sack that you empty in front of Hallstein of Suntime's feet. He jumps back, but the healer quickly picks the head up, stares at it, and nods. Hallstein of Suntime approaches the brigand's bloodied face and eyes it carefully. Yes, that's his ugly mug, all right. Servants, pay this man his money. Coin in hand, you raise your voice to the men. As long as there's blood coursing through your veins, as long as we can hold sword and shield, there shall stand our company. All through the realm, people will know the Battle Brothers. The men cheer. Raymond puts his hand on your shoulder. You did well, Captain. No matter where you lead us, the men will follow you as brothers in battle. You gain 400 crowns. As brothers! That tavern lied. They're not looking to hire anyone here. Okay, back to Wallstatt. They have something for us. Love to find a place nearby that has a good weaponsmith. Okay. Leif comes along with a small boy racing at his side. When they get to you, the pair talk at the same time, stop, and then start again. You hold your hand up, and then point to the little boy, who immediately says that Cunald the steward wishes to see you. You then point to the battle brother, who says a local bitch has birthed puppies, and maybe the battle brothers could take one. Pursing your lips, you tell the boy to take you to his master, who is found already waiting for you. I'm all ears. You find Kunhald the servant closing a box up. He quickly glances up, as though he's been caught with his pants down. Sellsword, thank you for coming. He locks the latches with a few quick snaps. Then he pats the crate a few times, and even leans on it as though it needed one more fat latch. This here cargo has to be delivered safely to Asliv. A man by the name of Oswald of Asliv is waiting for it. I do not believe the task will be easy, as the cargo is rather precious to certain people who'd go to great lengths to acquire this, which is why I'm turning to a man of your experiences. Are you interested in doing this for me? Let's talk money. He smiles. This will make you a rich man, my friend. You'll be paid 550 crowns when the contract is done. We need to be paid more. Who do you think you are? I tell you how much you're getting paid. It's 550 crowns when the contract is done. Okay, we'll accept. Leaving here, let's figure out where this town is. Oh, it's all the way up here. We're going from the steppe all the way up into the tundra. Let's stop in Turnwald for a second just to see what they have there. During camp, as is customary, you assemble the men to explain the company's next steps. Brothers! The Battle Brothers must show the world we are forged of a hotter fire than other mercenary bands. As our reputation grows, so will the influx of crowns to our coffers. Let us forge a path to greatness. What do you tell the men of the company will do? We shall get the company's strength back up to 12 men. This will make us a formidable force again and will allow us to take on more profitable work. Yes. So Thurnwald just has a marketplace and a dog kennel. It's good to know. Knockenfeste. Again with the Sado-Germanic Nordic goop. Oh, there's another mercenary brand called the Unbroken Third. Knockenfeste has a tavern, an armorer, a training hall, a Fletcher. It's good to know. Which way are we going next? Are we going through Tabenmoos? Ooh, there are brigands. Let us fight these brigands. Many brigand thugs. Actually gonna move you here. And then you're gonna shoot that guy successfully. You injure his shoulder. Excellent. I'm gonna have you wait. Have you go here and attack him. You're gonna move forward and be awesome. Or not, you know. Missing is also fine. Really? You missed on a 90% chance. You're gonna reload. And why don't you go after that guy? And miss. Oh, crushed his finger. attacking these guys, trying to, I don't know why they're making this long chain. Oh, I see. They're all going after Randolph. That is their goal. You're gonna go here. Oh, what'd I do? I injured his shoulder. Then I killed him. He has pierced chest and pierced arm muscles and is dead. Okay. Damn it. Looks like Randolph is dead. Well, we knew that would happen eventually. Actually, all told, we're doing really well in this battle. We've only lost one man. Got a few swords, a few cleavers, a couple shields, some money, some dried fruits that we're about to finish, some medical supplies, some tools, a lot of ammunition. Nice. Let's keep moving up to Taubin Moose. And we'll sell... Yeah, we'll only sell those things. Let's grab a little bit of extra supplies. Hello, third person watching, and welcome. Playing Battle Brothers. We have 5 guys. This is our 3rd day of adventuring. Going to go around these mountains, apparently. Okay. So, as I always recommend in my live streams, feel free to chat. I've got this open on my second monitor. I can easily see it, and I love responding to it. And it's also a lot easier to respond back to people sometimes. Sometimes I get a little lost in the game, concentrating, and forget to say stuff. Along the road, a man with a pitchfork is crossing a field where the crops have failed. His feet scuff up the deadened ground, and you see tufts of ash being pitched windwise. When he gets to the road, you hail him down and ask where he's coming from. The man is a day tailor, only trying to get back home. All the work around here is dried up, literally. Licking his cracked lips, the man wonders if maybe he could stay the night with your company. He certainly looks like he could use some rest anyway. Should I let him join us at the campfire for tonight? Or should I keep him away? What do you guys think? Any suggestions? Yes, be generous. Okay. We'll have him join at the campfire. You sit about the fire. Much talk is made about this or that, but the traveler does speak some words, which reside within your mind long after he's gone. The Battle of Many Names? Who did not take part in that? Half the world was on the march then, I swear it. I stood with the infantry, footmen to a lord, to be precise. Protected him well until the orcs released their berserkers. After that, everyone sought to protect themselves, a job which proved quite difficult. I used to lie about how I made it out. Now I don't. The truth is, my lord had his face crushed by a chain, and his mount flipped and fell atop of me. Its poor heart struck dead in fright. Then what happened? The traveler pauses, staring into the campfire. He prods the edge of it with a stick. That's the last thing I remembered as far as the fightin' was concerned. I eventually woke up to the rains coming up to my nose. Nearly drowned me in my dozing. I wiggled my way out from under the horse and crawled to God knows where. Orcs and men lay everywhere, dead, dying, drowning. Lots of screaming. I couldn't tell who or what it was coming from. I remember the mud. I remember it clutching at me. A maiden, strong-armed like an ox, saved me from it. She threw me on a cart, and the last thing I saw was the battlefield, and I'm sorry. I must stop. Thank you for having me for the night. May you find peace on the roads, traveler. Well, that wasn't a fun story. Apparently, we should beware of the greenskins, as they call orcs in this game. And we get paid. Finally, you've made it. Oswald of Esliv is standing there in the middle of the road, his hands clasped over his stomach, a slick grin on his cheeky face. Sellsword, I was not sure you'd make it. You lug the cargo up and hand it over. Oh yeah? And why do you say that? The man takes the box and hands it off to a robed man who quickly hurries away with it tucked under an arm. Oswald of Asliv laughs as he hands you a satchel of crowns. The roads are rough these days, are they not? You understand he's making small talk, anything to get your attention off the cargo you just handed over. Whatever, you got your pay, that's good enough for you. Crowns well deserved. Disappearing villagers, which should mean that this quest is fighting direwolves. That's fun. Emmerich the councilman's got a satchel with a scroll attached, but the name written on the paper is not yours. He weighs it carefully, the lumps of coin curving around his fingers, their clink and clanks muted. He turns to you. You recognize that name? You shake your head. The man continues. A week ago, we sent the famed Sir Rupert of here to go hunt down some foul beasts that have been terrorizing the town and surrounding farmsteads for weeks. Do you know why this satchel has remained in my ownership? You shrug and answer, because he hasn't returned? Emmerich the councilman nods and sets the satchel down. He sits on the edge of his table. Correct, because he has not returned. Now why do you think that is? I think it's because he's dead. But let's not be so negative. I think it's because the beasts out there require more. I think they require someone like you, sellsword. Would you be willing to help us now that this nobleman has failed? Dire wolves are one of my favorites because they generally come in groups of 3, which are fairly easy to handle. And the battle very quickly turns into the favor of the player, and they drop direwood pelts, which you can sell for fairly decent money. So they are low to maybe moderate risk with moderate to high reward. And you usually get a quest to slay them, which just ups your reward even more. What is Aesliv prepared to pay? He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something, but it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is good payment for the task. You are to receive 380 crowns when the contract is done. Well, I want everything to be 400 crowns or more, so we need to be paid more than this. This is it then. It's 400 crowns when the contract is done. Just said 400 is my minimum, so there we go. Do they have anything good in the marketplace? Not especially. Okay. And the beast tracks are off this way. Along the way, a peasant comes up to you with his clothes in shredded rags about him. With fair modesty, he's got his hands covering his groin. Please, sir, come take a look at this horror. When you question what he's talking about, he throws his hands up, thrusting his hips at you. He turns a foot like a puppet spun off and takes off running, hooting and hollering. A woman walks up to you in the wake of the man's madness. She's got her hands against her bosom. He's gone mad on account of his brother being torn apart by the beasts. You turn to her, half expecting the lady to rip off her clothes and wobble her shapes in whatever direction she pleases. Instead, she simply stares at you. I know Aesliv has hired some men to take care of these beasts, and you certainly look the part of a hired hand. Please, sir, protect us from these evils, and the evils that they spread. So I met a streaker, and a woman that I expected to be a streaker. Or rather, wobble her shapes in whatever direction she pleases, which is the best description of that I've ever had. Of course you could, Alex. We move on. They're going down this way. It is 3 dire wolves. Oh yeah, they've got the empty space there now. Okay. No. Damn it, we're gonna have him move over here. He's gonna move up. Oh, but that took too much movement. He can't attack this turn. And you're gonna move down this way. you move forward so you can shoot that guy. Ooh, we cut the leg muscles of that dire wolf. Move him down there. Ah, shit. There's one dire wolf dead. There's two dead. Really hoping... Oh, Raymond is dead. Damn it. And we don't even get his armor back. Shit. Terrible. Let's finish this quest. On your return, Emmerich the councilman's feeding one of his dogs when you return. The mutt drops its bone to sniff at what you brought. The man points at the pelt. What kind of foul thing is that? You shrug and toss it onto his table. The dog pokes its nose at one of the claws, growls, and then begins to lick it. Emmerich the councilman smiles briefly, but then goes to his bookshelf, picking up a wooden chest and handing it to you. 400 crowns, was it? You should know you've brought peace to the people of Asliv. You nod. Does their happiness also come in crowns? Emmerich the councilman frowns at your greedy humor. No, it does not. Have a good day, mercenary. A successful hunt. Okay. I'm actually going to leave it here for today. This was a very successful first day of my week of streaming. And I will see everyone tomorrow, either with a continuation of this game or possibly with something else. We will see.